Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm Kara Rucker. President Biden is in Mexico. Thousands of nurses in New York are on strike. But first, the House of Representatives has a newly elected speaker. What's on the agenda on their first day of business? This is your morning rundown with Straight Arrow News, unbiased, straight facts.
The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Newly elected House Speaker Kevin McCarthy will be leading the floor in the House chamber. And after last week's vote after vote of disagreement within the GOP, now it's on to business. There's a laundry list of items Republicans want, including cuts to IRS funding and immigration policy. But first up, the House has to pass its rules package, which will include some of the concessions McCarthy made to Republican holdouts. The rules are slated to be voted on tonight. President Biden is in Mexico meeting with the Mexican president, arriving Sunday night after first touring the border city of El Paso. It was his first trip ever to the border, where he met with Texas officials, including the governor, hopeful that the conversation between state and federal officials will continue past the president's visit this weekend.
He's never called me to talk to me about the immigration issue. Now I provided him a letter that provides tangible, concrete solutions that will stop illegal immigration. And I expect him to call to me, and that's what Secretary Mayorkas also said.
President Biden had about 4 hours to inspect border conditions and meet with the personnel before moving on to Mexico. He's now expected to sit down with Mexico's president to discuss the shared border crisis. Canada's president will also be showing up today to discuss other issues important to North America's leaders. Thousands of nurses in New York are on strike today, all because of failed negotiations and worker contracts between hospitals and unions. Hospitals in Manhattan and the Bronx are the ones short-staffed today because of the nurses' strike. Travel nurses have been brought in to fill their places, and some patients are being transferred to other hospitals. For the nurses on strike, their main sticking point is a staffing shortage. They're asking the hospitals to add more personnel. And while there's a written agreement to add 170 new positions, the nurses say it's not enough to address issues of being overworked.
The storm was raging, and we actually witnessed the pier go down. And it was not only a sight to see, but to hear the pylons rapping against each other. And the destructive force of the water was just incredible.
After storms flooded parts of California last week and through the weekend, another storm is slated to bring more downpours and heavy winds to central and northern California tonight. And then another powerful system is expected Wednesday and Thursday that could bring another several inches of rain to the valley. Already 12 people have died. The National Weather Service is warning of a relentless parade of atmospheric rivers. California Governor Gavin Newsom told residents over the weekend the worst of the weather is still to come. Images out of Brazil depict thousands of protesters breaching congressional buildings in defiance of election results, similar to images we saw in our own country 2 years ago on January 6th. It's a similar page taken from America's playbook. Brazil's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, lost re-election by less than 2 percentage points, so a highly contested race. Protesters claiming the election was stolen, storming Congress, their Supreme Court, and presidential palace in the capital. Brazil's new president was sworn into office a week ago. He says the protesters will face punishment.
Like true vandals destroying what they found in front of them. We think there was a lack of security, and I wanted to tell you that all those people who did this will be found and punished. They will realize that democracy guarantees the right to freedom and free speech, but it also demands that people respect the institutions created to strengthen democracy.
Hines on the run back, breaking a tackle and taking it past midfield, and down the sideline he goes. This is storybook, an opening kickoff return for Damar Hamlin, and this place is absolutely going wild.
A play that sends chills down your spine. The first time the Buffalo Bills stepped foot back onto the football field since Damar Hamlin's collapse, and the team scores a kickoff return touchdown. Members of the team calling it special and spiritual. The Bills won the game for Damar Hamlin, who watched his team from his hospital bed with loved ones. Remember, Hamlin is number 3 on their team. That kickoff return, the last time the Bills did that was 3 years and 3 months ago. Their quarterback threw 3 touchdowns on Sunday, and their defense came up with 3 interceptions. Lots of threes that some call an eerie coincidence, and others call it a sign. These are your top headlines on this Monday morning. Thanks for watching Straight Arrow News, your place for journalism without agenda. I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.